She never wagged her tail when we first got her, and I noticed actually only yesterday that she wags her tail nearly all the time now.
Once they start trusting you, the love that they give back is not like if you were to go buy a dog.
It's almost a rewarding thing to do, to take on a dog that wants a home, wants to be loved. I always say to people, you're rescuing one dog, but you're actually saving another two.
Almost a quarter of UK adults own a dog, which is about 10.1 million people. Lockdown provided the perfect opportunity to get a dog, but as restrictions ease and the world goes back to normal, people are struggling to find time to spend with their newly purchased pup. Whilst the dog population grows, so does the number in rescue centres around the world. Megan Wilson has an undeniable love for dogs. She works as a veterinary nurse, but also trains and assesses rescue dogs to make sure that they are ready to move into their forever home. However, she believes that the pandemic could have a disastrous impact on our rescue centres.
We are now to the point probably that we don't have the space in rescue dog kennels for the amount of dogs, because people have unfortunately got dogs in lockdown because we're at home more, we have more time, and then now we've all been going back to work, so these dogs are now not fitting in with their lifestyle.
In order to keep rescue centres coronavirus safe, the public haven't been able to visit, but now they're almost full with dogs, centres have had to come up with creative new ways to show off their residents. Joe Kay became a sensation on the new short videos platform TikTok, with the content he's created at the Wayne County Humane Society in Ohio. He was shocked by his rapidly growing audience.
My dog Wick, I adopted him from my shelter. It wasn't even about the shelter. When I first started, it was just a video of him, me explaining, saying, this is my rescue dog, he was going to be euthanized, and it just blew up. I went to bed with 0 followers, and the next morning I woke up and had 16,000 followers. So I was like, okay, well, if you like his story, let me show you where I work. Let me bring you in, and I'll show you some other stories that I might have. And then from there, it just blew up even more.
He now has over 1.2 million followers and more than 42 million likes, showing his videos have a global appeal.
I have people messaging me from California. I have people messaging me from Texas. I have people from India. I have people all over the world messaging me and asking me if they can come adopt. It's helped a lot of dogs get adopted.
After working as a vet for over 30 years, Catherine McLaren has seen many rescue dogs in her practice with a wide range of issues, from horrendous trauma injuries to dogs with diabetes. But she's always careful when treating any kind of dog.
Always a safety thing with any animal. They're going to bite you, basically, when you're trying to examine them. And so you've always got to be careful. So it's the unpredictability that you watch for more so probably with rescue dogs. If you know a dog and you're aware a dog is going to bite you, then you're careful with it straight away. You'll maybe muzzle it straight away before you even try and do anything to it. Whereas some dogs will look quite happy one minute and then the next minute they'll turn around and bite you. So they're probably more dangerous than dogs that you know are going to be difficult to handle. So quite often some owners will come in and say, oh no, it's fine, it's never bitten, but there's always a first time, and some of those are the ones you've got to be more careful of, because the owners, can be a bit careful. They can be upset if you imply that their dog's going to be a danger potentially. So you have to treat them all slightly differently.
Just like you need to treat every dog differently, they have a variety of purposes. A practice that is common in America but new in the UK is introducing dogs to prisons as therapy pets, which is beneficial to both parties involved. As well as her day job, Megan volunteers for a charity that places dogs with inmates.
We are allocating them to a young person, again matching up the needs of the dog to the needs of the person. So it goes along the route of what personalities match. So I'd be, if I've got quite a quiet dog, I'm going to pick quite a quiet young person. You could say is it a reflection of what the dogs are like in kennels, where they're isolated from normal activities, and they lose social skills through that, as we know. And what we find is our boys come down quite quiet, anxious, unconfident, being able to work with a dog that also has maybe needs not met for them. So they are nervous around somewhere, they're not, or they put the big bravado on, the dog can do that too, but actually they're just worried about a situation. You put them together, they work together to overcome that. It builds a positive relationship and a positive association, and you find that the dogs that open up, they become more relaxed, more happy with their with what's going on, enjoying confidence, that ability to give something new a go, and we find the exact same. It's like a mirror image for the boys that are in front of us.
The rehoming process is lengthy. Nick Wood has rehomed many dogs and now is part of the Northern Newfoundland Club. He visits prospective Newfoundland owners' homes and judges whether the home and homeowner is suitable for one of the biggest breeds in the world.
If somebody approaches Newfoundland Welfare and they say, I'm interested in giving a home to a dog, then the Newfoundland welfare section will send an experienced Newfoundland owner out with a checklist to visit the home and to ask questions and to have a look round, check the garden, check the owner's circumstances, check that somebody's going to be at home with the dog for the majority of the day, and that it's going to be a decent environment for it to be brought up in.
Kirsty Lyle spent years in South Africa rescuing dogs, from which she has some truly horrifying stories.
One of my first ever cases, about 2 weeks into working, was a little puppy that we got called to, who it turned out had been sexually assaulted by a human, and she was 5 months old, and she lasted only 4 days, and then we had to make the decision to have her put to sleep because her injuries internally were so horrific that there was no chance that she was ever going to survive that, and that was heartbreaking.
Fortunately, a lot of dogs do pull through, and although rescuing may not be the easiest process, it's certainly rewarding.
Now if I move quickly above her head, she'll cower, but I just have to look into her eyes and you can see the devotion. She's busy chasing flies. But this is just pure love now and trust, absolute trust. She never wagged a tail when we first got her, and I noticed actually only yesterday that she wags her tail nearly all the time now.
So why should you get a rescue dog?
There's always dogs needing homes, so that's definitely a reason to go out and get a rescue dog. If you buy them, then there is a risk. Even if you think you're going to a household and buying a puppy from a household, there's a risk that that's just one of the outlets that the puppy farmers are using, so you don't know for sure.
If you get a rescue dog, you're giving it a nice new chance of life, and it's good also for some people to get a dog which is past the puppy stage. Some people just may not have the time to devote to raising a puppy, the house training and getting it sort of socialised and well behaved. So getting an adult dog, very often it's a win-win situation.
I tell people you can go buy a dog all you want, but you'll never get that love from rescuing a dog from a shelter environment.
You're saving that dog's life. Some shelters are called kill shelters, so they'll have them for a certain amount of time, and then if they're not rehomed, then they are put to sleep.
You're giving something back. It's almost a rewarding thing to do, is to take on a dog that wants a home, wants to be loved. It doesn't cost you $2,000. It's a cheaper option, but also the money goes back into the charity. So this money isn't going back into line somebody else's pocket. It's going into the charity to be able to do work in the community, get new dogs in that are in the streets, that are sitting in council kennels which are not nice, come in and they find a new home. So when you go to rescue a dog, I always say to people, you're rescuing one dog, but you're actually saving another two. There's more dogs coming in behind that kennel gets freed up, and a new dog comes in that needs a home.
Because I think there's a place for every dog with someone. It might take a while to match the family with a dog because they've all got different needs. But the rewards are, I can't put a price on it. I can't put a price on it.